Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the shop. Welcome back to North Guitars. It's great to see you again. Great to talk to you again. So I have had a couple of questions in the comments, and I really dig that. Thanks very much for, subscribing and taking the time to throw a comment at us. That's pretty cool. I love reading them. And the question that I had that was a very relevant question here recently was from a subscriber, Flavor King Pluto. And he was talking about he liked the way this broke down and the ease of putting it together, moving it out of the way and using it, or, just stashing it, And he asked how it worked out over time and if I would make any changes to it. And those are two great questions because it worked out pretty well, but it did have a few flaws. And since then I have made some changes, and I'll go over those real quick for you. It worked out well for the first classical build we did. If you look here, you see these thumb screws that go into these square nuts that are driven into this maple. If I tighten over time, if I tightened down too hard on those, it would loosen the bolt inside. The bolt would start to pull out because you're essentially making a gear puller and you're just screwing in and you're pulling the threads that way, right? So what we did was we took those out, and if you remember the video, if you went back and watched it, they're about that long. They're about 1 inch long down inside this chunk of maple. Well, Steve took those out, and he took a file and he filed a notch all the way around them, and then we put them back in there using some of the very thick gap-filling CA glue that you can buy at LMI. And that seems to have worked really well because now they're really super glued in there. No pun intended. And I can tighten down on them really hard and they don't seem to budge at all. So these slipped because you may not think that this little thing right here will create a lot of tension because it's just a little 3/16 inch fiberglass rod, right? But if you put about 20 of these working together inside here like that under tension, all of those pushing up against this would make this deck move a little because these were becoming looser. So that was not good. Once I figured that out, I tightened them down enough to where I could get through the build, and I said I would come back later and, fix that because I have another acoustic guitar right now that we're about to start doing the bracing on for Philip Herder, a nice parlor style. So the quick fixes that we did was, of course, I have that same issue down here at the bottom. You may not be able to see that on camera, but there's the same thing here at the bottom. Well, at the bottom, I took the rods out and I ground a notch into the rod so that the screw, the thumb screw, would find that notch and lock in, and it can't pull out. So that was fixed easy enough down there. Up here, after repairing this little issue here, we added these split ring collars. And they work extremely well. They have a little Allen screw adjustment, and they clamp down over the 5/16 inch rod. And so I have one here, which makes it great for setting the height that you want. I had this little piece of tape on there to do it. Of course, this will work nicer. There's one there, so I can set that height, exactly the height that I want it to be, even all the way around, and it won't move from there. And I put another one up on top. And I just take this Allen wrench and put it in there and tighten it up. And that locks that in. These are good and tight now, and I do not foresee us having any trouble with that anymore. So I think we fixed that. And that's the improvements that we made. I think that's going to do the trick. We're getting ready to do this really pretty rosewood, Indian rosewood parlor style guitar. We did some templates on our CNC to show us where the bracing goes. We put these little ears on here with these 1/4 inch holes so that these backs and tops will very easily line back up to where they're supposed to be. I'm dropping a little piece of 1/4 inch dowel in there. You see that? You understand what I mean by that? I'm sure you do. Not questioning your intelligence, but it lines up really well on the holes on both sides, and that allows us to put this template back on that back and mark very efficiently where the center is and where the bracing goes. So we're about to get going on that. I got some finishing to do today, and I'm having a little drink with my friend, Mr. Daniels, and relaxing a little and getting into guitar building. And this is where I find my happiness and my zen. I come in here, shut the door, and everything goes away, except for this. And this also can be stressful, but I won't allow. When that starts happening, I just walk outside and look around for a minute, come back, you know. So we're getting ready to do Philip Herder's guitar. We had a little issue with his top, unfortunately, as we sanded the back, the back of the top is what I'm trying to say. We found a windbreak in the spruce, and I can't use that because it wouldn't be right to try and push that off on someone, even though I could probably hide it and whatever, but that's not what guitar building is about. It's about trying to do it right. You know, that's the draw about building guitars. It's something you can try to do right. And we're getting ready to do this great looking Palfaro neck for my buddy Jason Cale's guitar. Actually, I'm just getting ready to glue the fretboard on, and boom, that baby's ready to be fit. So that's it for today. Just a quick video to let you know the upgrades I did to the Go Bar deck, and you'll see this in use very soon. We had another subscriber ask me to please show some more builds, some more building videos. We hop around from build to build because it's more efficient to do one thing, let that dry, do something else. So it's difficult to just concentrate on one build at a time, but I'm going to try to do that in the future. And we got a couple of great looking builds coming up. We got some great surprises in the future, and I thank you so much for subscribing, and we'll see you soon. Give us a thumbs up if you would, please. Thanks for the comments. Throw some more down in there. We love to talk about guitars, okay? We'll see you guys out there somewhere. Be good to each other. Bye now. Worth Guitars. Peace.